Good evening, guys. Welcome back. Captain Vijay, your host, and I have a co-host with me as well. उसका नाम मैं बाद में बताऊंगा. This session is about we'll talk about depression, stress, जो हमने already काफ़ी सारे videos में cover किया हुआ है. But this time we will try our best to make it more of a practical aspect. Me and my co-host will talk as a seafarer point of view, and we will have a guest, Captain Arun and Miss Surbi. She is a motivational speaker from USA. So let me get my host on board and my. I hope I am audible, guys. Good evening, Captain Arun.
Hello, Captain Vijay. How are you? Can you read me?
I can read you loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So I have my co-host, ठीक है, not a guest, co-host कैप्टन अकी कंटेनर वाला, ठीक है, वो मुझे बैक करेगा एंड हम लोग ट्राई करेंगे टू मेक इट मोर प्रैक्टिकल rather than talking about theoretical and lots of what you call hyphen words, उसको अवॉइड करना है.
Sure.
एज अ ओएस सीमैन उनको ज़्यादा पता नहीं होता इंग्लिश, वैसे ही उनके बैर मिनिमम होती है, तो
समझा.
हम उनको समझ गए ना. पीपल आर मोर इंटरेस्टेड इन प्रैक्टिकल
Practical
एस्पेक्ट्स.
solution.
तो
Yeah.
चलो ओके गाइस, कैप्टन अरुण सबको पता ही होगा, यंग मास्टर, ही लुक्स यंग, एज नहीं बताऊंगा इसका. ओके, सो इज कैप्टन फ्रॉम फ्लीट मैनेजमेंट एंड जैक कैनफील्ड ट्रेनर, माइंडसेट ट्रेनर, लाइफ कोच, डीएमआईटी काउंसलर. और कुछ मिस करो मैं?
That is good enough, Vijay.
And now we are certified VICT trainer, VICT compliant, so now we are ready to teach DG approved courses as well.
Yes.
So let me get
Thank you so much.
Surbi Saini. She is a life coach, mindfulness trainer, motivational speaker. She is from USA. She is also a principal director of a Montessori school. We have a lot of information about her, but I mean, it would be better for our viewers कि Surbi अपने खुद introduce करे. So let me just see if I can get her in. Okay. Hello, Captain Tarun. Hello.
Hi, Captain Vijay. Nice to see you.
Hi, Surbi. Yeah, likewise. And
Hello, Shruti.
it's morning
Hi.
there, so good morning to you as well.
Good morning and good evening to you guys.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Captain Vijay, and he's Captain Arun.
Hi, Captain Arun. Nice to meet you.
Arun, if you
Hi,
can
Shruti.
just share a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a master mariner, and I've been sailing as a master on bulk carriers, and that's my professional. By passion, I'm a trainer, as in I'm a certified Jack Canfield trainer, and I used to train, outside seafaring community, like to other guys like chartered accountants or to other fellow friends and families. So now I've decided to, just get back to sailing community to help them out to deal with stress and all other stuffs related to programming of the mind, so that they live a happy and a good life, basically, not even at home but on board also. So that's I've made a mission actually.
Wow. I'm actually at awe. I just recently started listening to Captain Vijay's talks, and I obviously don't know much about a shippy's life, but it's so, I think it's gelling to what we all need as a global community, is to find happiness within ourselves and figure out how to live a better life. No matter if you're on the ship or you're a teacher or whatever profession you come from, we all struggle with how to go by our day in a much calmer way. So hats off to you guys for this initiative. I would like to give you a big round of applause for that.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much. So, Surbi, if you don't mind, I have already mentioned you're a life coach, mindfulness trainer. I would like to know especially about what's mindfulness. and motivational speaker as well. So if you can just share a little bit about yourself, why you chose this, passion.
So I think I came across mindfulness when I first started teaching as an educator. Like when you walk into the classroom, you've got children who are coming into the classroom with different emotions, and you have no idea. So you're walking into unknown waters, I would say, because you don't know how they're going to react to what lesson you're teaching. And at that point, I came across the word mindfulness, and I wanted to explore it further. So I joined a certification course, and I loved it because it started with talking about meditation, which I had done as a teenager, and I had completely failed because somebody told me that you're supposed to not think anything if you're sitting down to practice. And the moment I would try, it would be just thoughts, anything else. And I couldn't get rid of it. And I was like, okay, this is something that's not for me. So when I came across mindfulness, I was introduced to this new form of sitting with yourself and actually addressing your thoughts and feelings. So it was completely opposite to what I had thought meditation would be. And transformed me as a person because now I felt that I was more relaxed. I was okay to meet with what was rising within me. So what mindfulness is it's being aware of your body, mind, and thoughts and feelings and addressing them in a non-judgmental manner. So I'm not going to call it good or bad. I'm just going to acknowledge what's rising within me. And then I took a few more courses, and now I'm a certified mindfulness trainer, and I love doing what I do.
All right, so that's so beautiful. Captain Aki, he will be assisting me today. So, you being a
Yeah,
non-seafarer, I invited you to come on this, if possible, to get a, insight from a non-seafarer point of view. We have already discussed about depression, stress, suicides, but most of us were seafarers. So it would be really great to have a different kind of opinion. Recently, we had lots of incidents and accidents, suicides cases happening on board ships. Mostly, it might be many reasons. One of the reasons is the because of the COVID. The show live has stopped. There's no fun anymore, and the crew already, they have a contract period of 8 to 9 months on board generally, and because of the COVID, they have been stuck on ships for 15 months, 12 months. That's the figure I know. So we will be talking about that. So Captain Aki, you got anything to add? You want to start first?
no, you start, you go ahead. I think you are at home, so right now I'm on board, so I can better explain the scenario right now, which is there. With we all on board from last 6 months, no shore leave, all countries putting all restrictions on us. We can't get anything on board. We cannot, buy things like we used to do before. So we are struggling for each and everything on board. So it's not just me; it's all the seafarers who are out there right now. So I think I'll be able to give some inputs. What is actually the current scenario with regards to mental state of seafarers on board right now?
All right, and the work never stops on board. It's 24/7 continuous. Doesn't matter. Saturday, Sundays are not actually existent on board ships. So, what would be your opinion? Like, I'm a seafarer, I'm a crew, and I've been stuck on board for, you can say, 15 months, and I'm just waiting for the company. It's not that the company is not signing off. Company's hands are also tied because of the flights restrictions and the visa restriction and so many logistics the company has. Now, as a seafarer, what is happening is people give up. Ultimately, they lose their hope. So, what would be your insight about this thought?
So correct me if I'm wrong, is Captain Aki on board right now?
Yeah,
Is he
he is he.
Yeah,
dialing in from the ship? Okay,
yeah,
awesome. Is
yes,
he the master of that ship?
Yeah, he's
yeah, that's
a
Okay.
right.
master of the ship. Yeah.
So I would like to cross question him. Like, what are you doing in current scenarios where you know that there's no way out and you are short on supplies and they can't go back home? What I have you made any changes in your routine, the way things are done on board? as
Awesome.
to when it was like pre-COVID and now post-COVID? Have you made any changes in routines?
Excellent. Yeah.
See, if you frankly ask me, I'm just operating the way I do on all my ships. I'm just trying to keep my guys happy. That's my first priority. Okay, so then it comes to work. Definitely, I have my management to answer, so I definitely have to take care of that. But my style of working is little different. I don't push the guys to the limit, where they give up, and then from there, it's the stress starts coming in. If you push the guys if you push the guys too much. So right now I'm not doing anything extra, but yes, I've started from last 2 months. I've started certain activities on board, group activities, like small sessions like playing cards, watching a movie together, doing some sort of like small parties. Not in ship we have normally in a month 1 or 2 parties. So instead of doing just one party in a month, I try every weekend we guys just sit together, maybe for one beer or just have dinner together. These sort of things where guys don't start missing their family. And I know how difficult it is. Normally when we are going ashore, people don't interact with each other too much. It is just their work, and when you reach the port, they are just jumping, they're just ready to go out, do shopping and then come back and sail again. Right now they don't have that option. So all they have is their workplace, their cabin, and the mess room where they interact with each other. So the only change now I have brought to this ship is I've started more group activities, which is not there on other ships. Because other ships, normally what people do after their work, they go to their cabins, they just open their laptop, watch movies, or they'll talk to their family and they sleep. But here they are now both talking to their family. Now they want, to refresh their mind, they want to talk to people. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm planning more sessions like this. Last week I had a movie session. I just randomly picked this movie called Uri, the Surgical Strike. So it's like very. It gives a lot of energy to the guys. So the guys are very happy watching that. So I put on a big screen. So I could see the happiness and the Josh. How's the Josh? It says
How's
this
the
thing.
Josh?
So yeah, so I could see that happiness on their face that you all are doing something together, not just sitting in the cabin and watching movie alone. So this is the change I'll say I've got for the trip at least.
And I would like to appreciate that. I mean, that's something, that initiative that you've taken is what is very much required. Now, I'm not aware, so please ignore my
Sure.
ignorance that is there a way to have like a Zoom call with their families? Can that be arranged? Like maybe, obviously, I don't know how big a crew you have. Maybe if we can have scheduled time where if you have the resource, there was a way that weekly they could do like a Zoom call with their family members. Is that something that can be established, or is it
See,
already being done?
we have internet on board, and as a part of COVID initiative, company has started giving 1 GB, 1 GB of data every month to all crew, which was
Okay.
before COVID was about 300 MB. So 1 GB is enough, and the data is not so expensive. So guys are
Hmm.
talking to their families every day on video call. They are
Okay,
not
so
just doing
that's not
normal
an
calls.
issue.
So
Okay.
yeah, so they're talking to their family, and what I can feel right now, like I'll just give you an example. We had a crew change planned for next week, but due to some reason, some technical reasons, it got just cancelled the last moment. So company told me to, tell the guys, ki, okay, just wait for another 10 days and they will get off. And the guys were happy. They said, no problem, sir. We'll stay for another 1 month. It's okay. We'll stay one more month because I'm also planning to go next month. They said, sir, okay, we'll go together. We all will go together. So that means they're not missing their family right now. They're happy wherever they are. But again, I can feel that's in that sense, I can feel, yes, they are missing certain part of it because the good part of our job, I'm sure Captain Vijay, and sorry, sir, I have to get your name first.
So
Uh,
Captain Arun, yeah.
Yeah, Captain Arun, sorry. Yeah, Captain Vijay and Captain Arun will definitely agree to me. The best part of our job is we get to see a lot of places, we get to meet a lot of people, while doing our work. It is while we are working, we do a lot of these things which keep us very refreshed, very happy, and very motivated to stay on board, which is not there right now. So I'll say still, guys are happy. So maybe we are. I'm doing things right now. I'm not sure what will happen after that.
Well, the
Credit
more
goes to
But this
team
you.
one,
building, yeah, the
yeah,
more team building activities you can incorporate is something that would keep them together as a team and keep them motivated as well as positive. Because the idea is when you leave people alone, that okay, they can go back in their cabins and you've got nothing to do with them because their shift is over. That's when loneliness sets in. And as you mentioned that, you don't have a way out to go off board and do shopping as you guys always did. So now that's part. So that hole is what needs to be filled by doing more team building activities. You can come up with creative games. You can even ask them rapid questions as a team building activity so that you get to know them more personally, and that way you know what's going on in their lives and what they're thinking if there's something going on. This is not just for you, because I know you're doing awesome, but if there are any other places where the captain is not doing this, that's something that should be incorporated, so you get to know your crew more personally and they feel comfortable opening up to you, saying that yes, I feel like crap today. Because it's okay, you can feel bad one day and not every day you're going to feel the same. But if you're able to acknowledge and address that, yes, this is how I feel, then there, your job is half done.
all right.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would like to add,
yeah, Ron.
frequent appreciation. I mean, we should appreciate. I mean, we started to appreciate our crew more often. I mean, before that, we used to do it, but as an, I feel if frequent appreciation will help them to, just to relate with us and to start sharing things which you are. See, we cannot actually have all the data or all the things which are they going through. Maybe the family problem or the finance problem or the relationship, whatever. So they may not share everything with us, but some, if if we start appreciating that and we started to open with them, they might share their problems. So it will be very easy as a master or as an management level officer that to get the attention and to get the problem out of them basically.
I would like to ask both Arun and Surbhi, like you mentioned, Arun, appreciate, and then, he might be able, I mean, he might get the, what you call, the confidence to share what, he is going through. So, what should we do as a any team member, doesn't matter, as a master, what should we do so that the seafarer, who's mostly we have seen people, the shy to share their personal problems, the financial problems, maybe, they will think that what will this guy think if I tell him that I'm having this personal problem with my wife, with his whatever reason that might be. So how do we get him to initiate that initial, what you call, the uh, proactiveness to go ahead and share? Like the
So
title that I
okay,
put for this show was, it's okay to talk. So what do we do as a seafarer that the guy gets encouraged to open up his feelings? Either of you, you
okay.
can share.
So
Go ahead, Arun,
I'll
you go
take this
first.
question. Yeah. So Vijay, what we can do is to create an accountability partner, like an OS with an OS or OS with an AB. Any two of them share their things, and you ask each other. Basically, I can share with chief engineer or with the second engineer. So what happens when two of each start sharing their stuff? They become close friends. So you have a partner basically. So you are able to share your problems, and that guy, of course दोनों में से one guy can uh, talk to master or chief officer if something is wrong with that guy, because it's become very obvious that he is facing some problem and he shares with you and you think it's not good for the vessel or for anything for that matter, you can contact master. So that one thing we can do as a now.
Okay, accountability partner. You should have somebody to talk to
Yeah, not
for that.
necessarily master or chief officer from management, from
Not
anybody on
anybody.
board. Yeah.
Anybody can be, and it is duty of that guy, if he sees a red flag or something, he should escalate or talk to his superiors.
Yes.
So, if you would
I
like
think
to add something.
it's important to establish an environment where people feel comfortable sharing things. So I would again go back to the word non-judgment. That, it's okay. If you tell me something, I'm not going to judge you for what you're sharing, because you're not that person. You're that feeling in that moment. So you're not a sad, depressed person. At this moment, yes, you feel sad, and let me help you. So I'm just going to help you. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to judge you for what you're telling me. That is something that's very important to establish. So as he said, that if there's an accountability partner who's willing to share his own depths, then it becomes more comfortable that, I'm not the only one. Nobody's going to think that I'm crazy or I'm weird. That is something that needs to be established, I think, across the board. That's what I feel. I'm sure Master must be laughing in his head that I have so many things to do. But I think the environment where you're going to live for 6 to 9 months, that's probably your extended family for the 9 months. To have that comfort level is the key to success, I feel.
Yeah.
See, I'll add something to this.
Yeah.
I'll just add up to this what you just said regarding the extended family. Whenever I join a ship, any ship I join, I have an opening meeting. And in the opening meeting, I always tell every guy the same thing. You stayed home for 3 months, 4 months, and you're going to stay on the ship for next 9 months. So that is maybe, this is your family. You're going to be with these people more than your family. So start treating each other as a family. And second thing, which Captain Arun just said regarding the accountability partner, I'll say, what I personally feel, it's not just my thing, it's for, I'll say for other masters also. Whenever at home also, you must have seen, it's a human nature. In a family, whenever you have some problem, you always look upon to the eldest person in the family, right? To solve that problem. You never go to your brother or to your sister. You always want a solution from the eldest person. So I say the masters don't have to be pally. I don't say the captains have to, put a hand around the crew member's neck and stay very pally with him. But yes, he should be approachable. And if that is the case, there's going to be any problem. Anyone can knock your door anytime. They know captain won't mind that. So that is what I personally feel. You should be approachable, first of all, as a master, as a chief officer, at a management level officer. You have to be easily approachable so that anyone coming to your door knows that when I'm going to step inside this door, there will be a solution to my problem. If not solution, but the master or the chief officer will listen to my problem. And sometimes even just telling your problem to someone, it calms you down a lot. It really helps.
All right. But since you know that it's a dynamic profession, not every person is the same.
Nobody wants to say something.
I just have a question. Since you mentioned the opening meeting, awesome. I mean, I think that's why a person is a master when they're doing these things, and you see the ability in the person to hold that position in the right manner. How many meetings do you have with your entire period, where you're meeting with them not just about professional, engagements that, okay, this is what the ship needs and this is what you need to do, but other than that, how many times is it like the entire crew with you where you can talk to them?
My meetings, if you really ask me, what I normally do is when I go down I normally go down. I don't have to go down for any work, unless I'm going for a tech round or helping chief officer with something. But what I normally practice is I go during their tea breaks, just a random, I just go talk to them, sit with them, how's everything. And one thing I make sure happens on my ship is everyone wishing each other in the morning and with a smile. Okay, so that I ensure. And it really helps, I'll tell you how it helps. Now, suppose I'm wishing a guy every day good morning and he's seeing I'm smiling. One day I'm not smiling, he knows, something is wrong with the captain. And same way I also know. He's wishing me every day good morning with a smile on his face. But one day I wish him and he says, you can feel the difference. So generally you can ask, hey, what happened? Everything okay? So maybe 1 or 2 days he won't open up. But third day, definitely when you ask him for the third time, he'll definitely come to you and say, sir, this is the problem and I'm having some problem. So I think that is a very good way to, it's a first indication, you can say. A good morning is a first indication the way his body behaves that time is the first indication whether he's happy on board, he's sad, he's something is troubling him. So start assessing from there.
So I think you're doing all right things then.
Yeah, he is doing all right. The problem is that since being in Merchant Navy, not every master is like
Of course.
Captain Aki.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as a juniors, as a seaman, we are bound to have different master. Captain's contract is generally 3 to 4 months. So it might happen that you might have a great captain like him, and then sometimes, you get entirely opposite guy in the next contract. So that time the seafarer has to adapt to a good style and then, to a what you call the awkward or unorthodox style of the old-fashioned masters that I have seen normally, which are like they are just confined to the cabins and they will just carry out the basic work, no interaction with the crew, no interaction with anybody, just the professional talks. That's it. That time, what happens is any of the seafarer who would be in any sort of any problem, he will not be willing to share it with the seniors. It doesn't matter. It's the captain. It might be the chief engineer as well. That I have seen personally. So that's the problem of our shipping, fraternity, that people change every contract, and so a seaman has a contract of 9 months generally, normally. So they might have 2 or 3 masters during their tenure. No, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's how they
Yeah.
have to adapt.
That's why, Vijay, I was saying, because the master and the chief officer and the management level keeps changing. As an individual, we should be responsible for our mental health. I mean, I can depend on master to some extent that he will listen to me or somebody else will listen to me. But what if I can maintain that mindset, or I can have that mindset, or I learn some techniques, or what is I because my mental health is my responsibility, right? I cannot depend on anybody else. What if the master doesn't listen to me? What if nobody else is listening to me? So where the mindset coaches, or wherein the basically how to train the mind, people who teaches us how to how to deal with these things comes in the picture.
Okay. Now my question is, now forget the part where you have a good captain like Captain Aki is, or maybe I am, or maybe Captain Arun is. Assume a scenario where there is a person who's totally opposite. Now somebody who is not approachable. That time if somebody is in distress, somebody is in sheer depression, that time he has thoughts of, suicidal thoughts, you can say. That time, what should he do?
So again, I would ask a counter question. Do you guys have a schedule on ship where you have a workout regime and everybody has to do it? Or do you have like a 10-minute period? It's like a breathing break, call it breathing break or whatever. Do you have anything of that sort? Or are we just doing our shift at 9 to 5 or whatever and then doing our business?
See, there is
Yeah, okay.
on board. We do have activities. We do have a table tennis. We do have carom boards. So there are a lot of things, but it's optional. It's not compulsory that someone has to go there because at sea the work is little tiring. I think we are the only one of the professions who maintain rest hours because we are always working under so much stressful environment that we have to take care of our rest hours also. That we have to get enough sleep to. So people are mostly not in, very few people are into this, that yes, they are going to gym religiously, they are every day going, or they are playing table tennis every day. So it all depends upon how much time you get, how how much sailing time you have, how many ports you are calling. So it's really very dynamic. It's nothing is like fixed or you have to do it. So it's not like that.
But I think that's something that's very important and it needs to be encouraged more that, because what workout does, we all know now, is that it would induce happy hormones. And if you have lack of exercise, then obviously you're feeling low. You're in the middle of the ocean and you don't have any access to land. You're already lonely. You're away from your families. So there's like a perfect mixture of a person going into depression, especially on top of it if the master is not approachable. So there has to be a way for, I think, all the companies to establish, maybe provide them a gym, and not only just a gym, but actually give them a routine that, yes, if your schedule is, let's say, 9 to 9, then you're finding 10 minutes. I'm not asking for a half an hour, 40 minutes workout, but even if you work out for 10 minutes, it gives you a lot of benefits. So when you're at that point where your question was initially that if somebody is feeling lonely, depressed, and suicidal, he's already at that point where he needs some form of a third party intervention. So a counselor or a therapist or his family member reaching out to the master, getting him the help that's needed. But when you're already there, you can't be doing things on your own. What Captain Arun says, that yes, my mental health is my responsibility, but you've already surpassed that level and you're at a point where you're suicidal and you're completely depressed and you don't want to talk to people. That is not where he can help himself. The help would only be established if there's a proper routine and you're doing things that are good for your mental wellness. If those are not being done and you're suicidal, then I'm sorry, the only way out is a therapist or a counselor. Or the master being approachable and telling the person that it's okay that you feel this way, and please tell me, how can I help you?
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but at the end it comes to, so somebody has to be approachable. But I have seen at times even the master is not approachable. When I had some issues, so I had to reach out to somebody else other than the master. But then it's like a long process, Informing the company is normally on board ships is through the master. So if
And you won't even
somebody,
know half of the time if somebody is at that verge.
Yes, I was just about to say that, the problem what happens is we all are so busy in our work, we all have a very tight schedule. We have to, we are calling ports every third day. Sometimes some of the crew members, I'll just say, I just meet them maybe, like suppose engineers, crew working in engine department. For deck crews, when I'm going for deck rounds, I can meet them. Engine crew, sometimes 2-3 days, I don't see them, they don't come to me, or they're not coming for tea breaks, they're not coming at different times, they're coming for lunch, so I don't see them. So sometimes it's not possible to keep a track of all the crew members on board. So what I say, stress, we all talk about stress, but sometimes it is not just the work stress. It is not that people on board are troubling you. Sometimes it's because of your family, or maybe for young guys, a girlfriend leaving them is a big stress for them. What I'll do in my life now, my girlfriend has left me. So stress is very dynamic. It is, we normally say, "Arey, kaam bahut zyada hai, bahut stress hai kaam ka." So that is also a stress. And sometimes some people have actual stress, where they are stressed because of their family life, their married life, their lot of XYZ reasons. So we have to, what I feel, there should be someone approachable. But the person who's not approachable, I'll say in that matter, the second mates, the third mates, the chief mates, they are approachable, So try to reach out to some person, someone who's senior to you. Of your age, if you approach someone who's your age, I don't think he's going to give you any good advice, or it will work out in any way. So, yeah.
Okay. See, you're talking about, approaching a senior person, but if Arun says accountability partner, it doesn't have to be a senior. It can be anybody. The issue is if that person is unwilling to talk it out to his master or chief engineer. If he's doing it to somebody whom he believes and trust of his age, that's why the young generation, if you see, they are very happily and very eager to connect to the people of their age. They would be hesitant to connect it to a senior person. If he's doing that. Let me just complete. If he's doing that, OS, if he's talking and sharing his problems to an OS, I'm not saying the OS will be, giving a proper advice or something. At least the OS can inform the higher authority. I mean, the senior person in that case.
Yeah.
No, that is the case. That you are right. But I'll say the person should not go to his partner for an advice. Okay, he's sharing his thoughts because same age guys, they will not give a right advice for sure.
No, what I meant to say is that suppose a cadet is very good with the fifth engineer, or a second officer is very good with the fourth engineer because of a similar watch, night watches. I mean, then they have a bonding, so they share their stuff. And I used to do when I was a second officer, and raat mein, wo bhi watch pe, and I used to call an engine room, how is it, buddy, and all that. So that kind of relation I'm saying. I'm not talking for an advice, but yeah, the
Yeah.
fourth engineer as an accountable partner listens to as a second officer, and the second officer listens to fourth engineer. Both way, if any of them is facing a problem, they can tell to the master that, sir, he's talking
Yes.
like this. There could be a
Catching the
problem.
red flags on time.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes,
Right.
that,
No,
that's
that,
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
in
So
one
I
of my
think one of
companies,
the
we had this culture called buddy culture, where everyone has assigned a buddy. So you have to, go and look out for each other, meet the buddy every day. So like what you
Absolutely.
said, yeah.
which is
Sorry,
Also, we
nice.
Surbhi.
need
And
to,
I
yeah,
think
Aki,
go ahead,
yes, sir.
Captain.
Surbi, go ahead. Okay, no, Surbi, see, basically what he's talking about, he is in a very good company. So they take care of the employees. They put these policies and buddy culture and all that stuff. But there have been cases of suicide in substandard companies where there is not even a proper safety procedures in place. So we need to talk, as a generic way, not only a specific about my company or maybe his company, which are actually following this culture. So we need to talk in general, what can be done for those seafarers
Then
or working in a,
as a community, I think you all need to establish some form of mental health or mental wellness regime for everybody. That, okay, we all are seafers and we go through this. We understand that there are days where we are completely at our rock bottom. And how do you come out of it? So either, you start practicing mindfulness, which is only 10 minutes a day. It's not something that, requires hours of sitting down and stuff like that. And also establishing that there are so many things in life to achieve. So even if you're at a breaking point where you feel, okay, this is not for me and I should just kill myself, there are other things in life that you can do. You join merchant navy to do good, but there are times when you join the wrong ship or you feel that, okay, this is not something for me. That's not the end of the world. And establishing that if your actions would affect your loved ones. So if like I work in a school environment and I know that there are times that my staff doesn't want to talk about things. So what I started doing was that I would write some motivational quotes on my refrigerator where they had the access to it. And at points I realized that whatever I was writing was touching somebody's heart, and they would come in the office and say, I want to talk about something. So little things, but that has to be done community wise, because you don't know who's feeling what. So to have that platform and to open an environment where people are willing to talk and share, it has to be done throughout the community. So what your initiative is that, you've established this Instagram where you're talking about things. I'm sure people have started opening up to you and are mentioning that there are issues. So once you have collected all the issues, then we go into a solution-oriented approach and establish it throughout the community that as seafarers, this is what we should be doing for ourselves. So then at that point, there's no accountability partner. There's no master who's awesome like Captain Aki. Then, you're doing it for your own good because you need that for your mental wellness. Does that make sense?
definitely,
Uh,
definitely it makes sense. Arun,
Vijay, there was a very good takeaway from this. I just, came in my mind that we can we can start posting pictures or of a good motivational quotes. Like, it like just you posted like, it's okay to talk, or, you know, because whenever you leave your cabin and you go to your workplace, if you come across these posters, somehow it goes deep in the subconscious level. I mean, it will be there that it's okay to talk or something like this, uh, which uh, which is basically called mindfulness technique. So if we can do as a master or chief officer, post these pictures, because you never know, because it makes, we'll be there for 6 to 9 months, and if we constantly see a poster saying it's okay to talk, it's okay to talk, it directly goes in our subconscious level. So it affects it, because that's the that we've been trained as in for making a vision board kind of a thing, wherein whatever you want to achieve, you paste it on the poster. So similar kind of stuff can be done on board, wherein posting the pictures of, the life is more important, keep thinking of your family, similar stuff. So that's a good takeaway. So thank you to Surbhi.
You're welcome.
We did have in one of the company that I worked in, we did have the the baller suits, the overalls that we wear. Normally, the company's name is behind the baller suits most of the time. But one of the company that I worked in, they mentioned your family needs you. So like every seafarer who's
Yeah,
working on deck or in an engine room, so they just look at the
it
wordings, your
works.
family needs you. So every time he will always have this family back at the back of his head while doing any work if he thinks it's unsafe or taking any shortcuts wherein it could cause him any accident or injury. So he will think of his family as well, and then take one step back, follow the safety procedures, and then carry out that work. So that was also one of the good thing. And yes, it's okay to talk was a good thing that I came across, and I definitely on my few other ships I'll be making some nice posters about this. It's okay to talk. I am approachable, that's there, but then everybody should be approachable, and it should be for everybody in my company that I should ensure, and especially my juniors, the one who are under me. I have to train them to make them a good, approachable senior master or chief engineers in future. We have to lead by an example.
We can write
Yes,
one more. It's okay to listen. Like it's okay to
absolutely.
talk, so it's okay to listen. You
Yeah,
know,
that
that's
poster we should put in the cabins of master and chief engineers.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
So
Next,
I'll go back to
yeah, Survi.
just a quick. I'll go back to what Captain Arun had said in earlier about appreciating. So it just took me back to the same context that you can have like post-its available to everybody, and they can appreciate each other anonymously. That okay, someone did this, and you post it in wherever your staff room is or wherever everybody meets up for group. So that way, there's a positive environment that everybody is reading it and feeling that, oh, wow, so this person noticed it. So it's something small that you notice in a person, and then you just go and scribble it on a post-it and just leave it there for them to see. So, that's something
See,
that can be done to just
that
have
is
a positive
again.
environment.
I'll not say good things about my company, but that is also one part my company is doing. Every month we have this positive feedback cards. So the crew members give to each other whatever they liked about the other person, and those photos are sent to office and it comes in the magazine. So everyone is
Oh,
excited to see their photos in the company magazine. So that is
The,
also
the,
one
That's
thing.
great.
the company that he is working in has hundreds of checklists, hundreds of paperwork, and there is a checklist to complete the other 100 checklists.
But still the guys are happy, so it doesn't matter.
yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like you're working for a good firm, and as Captain Vijay said, not everybody is fortunate to do that. So we're more discussing about, things that are not being done and affecting the crew members.
Okay. Next question, if you can just help me out, is how to identify if a person is depressed. Okay, like Aki said that he's not wishing you, you wish him every day, but someday you notice that, something is wrong with him. Any behavioral traits or any signs that you can identify in any person?
You'll notice changes in their routine. So all of a sudden, they were doing certain things and now they're not doing those things. They are spending more time in their cabins. They're consuming more alcohol. So if somebody was a social drinker and now all of a sudden you see, okay, this is not the hour where we drink and he has a beer in his hand, then there's something going on that he's trying to escape from reality. And that's your red flag there.
Okay.
Or
Arun?
somebody obviously is
Yes.
sulking, which you can see from expressions.
Yes,
Right.
Vijay, you'll see. I mean, that it comes in your talk also. I mean, you started to say it's so frustrating, Often you'll see people who are frustrated will actually started to have nail biting things, or they do stuff like which is very abnormal. I mean, by just looking at them, you can figure out that they're depressed. I mean, if the guy comes in front of you, of course, if he's in the cabin and thinking lots of stuffs, then it's become a difficult thing. And basically, we have to understand the suicide on board, or for that matter, ashore. Suicide is a suicide, and it is to be think in a deeper level that first it's a negative thought, and then it leads to so much more. So, what anybody else or for me, what I can do is to practice something which get me out of that negative thing at the first place. So I have to practice certain things, I feel. I mean, It is very practicable. See, I know I have to be on board for, let's say, 6 to 9 months, and if master is not approachable, what I can do if a person thinks it's an it could be OS or AB or anybody for that matter. If he just to think if I get into that negative thinking pattern, what I can do just a tiny thing to get out of that thing. So you have to learn that thing, and it's a simple practice of I feel gratitude. When you start saying gratitude, then what happens is suddenly comes out of that zone of having negative thought, because then you started to see the bigger picture that you have a higher things. I mean, you have a family, so you're grateful for so many things. Then that can be dealt with, I feel, because the negative thinking is the basically core wherein the depressed person goes.
And another thing I want to point out is if you are aware of somebody taking antidepressants, because those are a major cause of suicide as well. So I don't know if you can I don't know how the laws work in that area, whether you can have people tell you if they're on any prescription drugs. And if there is a person who comes on board on an antidepressant, there has to be a watch on that person. There has
Okay.
somebody
Good
has
point.
to make sure that that person is safe and his room doesn't have things that would lead him or give him a chance to, think of committing a suicide.
Okay. I believe
See,
antidepressant was something new for me. Yeah.
I'll just give you one short example of one of my ships. Very recent story. It's actually happened. So one of my cadets, he was due for his promotion to next level, and he was cadet from a very long time. He left sailing in 2009, and then he joined back again after a very long gap, and now again he joined. So he wanted to get promoted. He wanted to be promoted to next level, but since he wasn't competent enough, so we all were trying him for, judging him for his knowledge, competency level, because being promoted to a third mate requires a lot of responsibility. And this guy was taking it as we are putting stress on him. We are, we are trying to torture him, giving him jobs what he don't know. But actually, we were giving him jobs which he's supposed to do when he becomes third officer, and which he was unable to do. And sometimes just bypassing safety, not wearing helmet, just very casual attitude. So no master, no chief officer, or in that matter, no one will take that, because on board safety is our first priority, and it should be, it starts from the bottom level. So now this guy has stress because now he's about to get promoted, and because of all these things, his promotion will be stopped. And then he comes to me and says that I'm not able to work. I feel like committing suicide. So now in this case, this guy, the last master whom I took over from, he handed over me this thing that this guy has some problem and he lies, and he was lied to the court. He will straight and on my face, he will say that I have not done this. I'm seeing him doing it. He will just lie. So definitely, I knew something was wrong. I tried my best. When he told me this thing, I had to inform to the office, because a cadet talking like this is not safe for the master. Tomorrow, anyone does anything, it will just come that we were wrong. So company wanted to get him off the board. That okay, sign him off. But I still fought with the companies, kept him for 2 more months. That okay, I will work on it. But sometimes you find such people. Like you said, there are people who are not on antidepressants. They are not depressed, but they just look for some reason to be depressed. Now in this case, this guy had no reason to be depressed. We were not torturing him. We were not giving him extra job. We were just training him for his next level. But he was getting depressed from that. So I want to ask you in this case, like what we can do in this stage? How we can stop people getting depressed? Giving job to people if making him stress. So this is something not right, if you ask me. Captain Vijay, you'd like to say something in this?
No. Subi, you can answer this
So
question now.
you have to give them. I would say if somebody is coming to you and telling you that you're putting too much pressure on me, and I'm so stressful that I can't do my job in a right manner, I would say just give him a break. Tell him that okay, tomorrow morning, I don't know if that's practically possible, but just say that tomorrow you're not doing anything. I just need you to revisit what we've had in our conversations. What is your job responsibility? And are you doing it the right way? You be the judge and come back to me the next morning and let's talk about it. So giving him
I
that
gave him
break,
1 week. I gave him 1 week's break. Okay.
it's an
I told
exceptional
you.
scenario there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told him, get him off everything. Let him come back to his, right mind and understand where he's going wrong. But believe me, there
So there
was
was
no
no
change.
self-reflection there.
Yeah.
Now
We even
that's
had
where,
a counseling session for him with a company psychiatrist. So it was a 2 hour talk on phone where she also explained him everything. But I guess nothing worked out. So sometimes you find it is not, we always talk about stress on board, but sometimes the stress is not because of the officers or the people on board. Sometimes the guy is stressed himself, and he doesn't, and suddenly he comes up and say, oh, or he jumps overboard. So I'll say no one is at fault. Sometimes you have so like people like that on board, and then maybe you are unlucky in that case. Some of the masters have become unlucky that someone jumped overboard and he didn't even know that he was stressed.
those
That time it's too late.
exceptional, yeah, yeah. And some
So
exceptional
Vijay,
cases will be there where, people are in of that example, what you just mentioned, that there is nothing wrong, but there's everything wrong. And then I think
Yeah.
after that, giving 1 week break and counseling, then the next thing I would suggest is to reach out to the family members and then have them have a talk with that person. Because I know sending somebody off board is not a piece of cake that, okay, no, you call the company and tell them, okay, he's off now, just come pick him up. I know that's not practically possible. So what is in your hands is that, yes, you gave him 1 week break, you got him a counselor. Even after that, something's not working, then the family needs to be involved so that they're aware that, this family member of yours, we've tried everything, we've done everything for him. I think there is a more like a family side right now, and somebody needs to
Now
talk to
finally
this person.
this guy, now what it says, what has happened will happen. So finally, because of his own fault, he was working unsafely, he got injured, and he signed off after 1 month on medical grounds. You see, so that 1 month company told me 4 times, and during COVID times where company, it was very difficult for them to get him off, but they were still after me. Okay, Captain, please get him off board. We don't want any accidents or anything like that. I said no, we will take care, because sending him back home, it's gonna disturb him more mentally rather than improving his mental health. But I'll say for the first time in my life, I also failed counseling someone or giving a right advice to someone. So we get such people also, just for your this thing, we get such people also on board where
But
people very good like me, cool like me also cannot manage them.
for future reference, I would say that if the company is offering you to get the person off board, I think on land, he would have more resources for help. So don't think that you would be sending him off and you're putting him in a bigger issue, because once he's there and his family is well aware of his scenarios, then they can get him somebody to work on him one-on-one. Talking virtually is completely different than sitting across from the counselor and having them, get through to your heart and understand where he's coming from. So I think that would be a risk taking, that, if somebody has come into your office and approached you and said, oh, I feel like committing suicide, and the company is offering you to get him off board, that's the best thing to do.
All right.
Maybe
And
next
Arun,
time
you
I
were
and
will
saying
who
go
are
ahead.
something?
we? I mean, you're not a
yeah,
psychiatrist, you're not a counselor, so you can't judge what it would be his next step. So lawfully, I think that would be the right thing to do, is to get him off board, get his family to get him help, so that there are no legal troubles involved here.
yeah. So
Arun,
Yeah, that's
Vijay,
yeah.
okay, so
Arun,
being on a
yeah.
both side, like being a sailor and also a mindset coach, I can say that as a master or a chief engineer or a chief officer, we should learn some techniques and some tools to help these people. Like basic stuffs that are available on internet, or you learn for your own good and for the benefit of the not the one which company provides, because I've gone through some stress management courses, but it didn't help me out. But something very common like EFT techniques or some other techniques which releases that emotions for that matter. So we should, as an master, learn something to help these kind of people. I mean, we'll be better off than having nothing at our end. So that's what my input here.
Okay. At the end, Subi, I would like to request you to share your experience, sharing your experience and your insights with three seafarers and talking about seafarers.
I do want to answer this question because somebody wrote, it's not fair for the cadet to offboard him. He is on his new job. I do want to address that. I don't mean that
Sure,
he
sure.
should lose his job, but risking
Yeah.
somebody's life is not right. And, the master is not responsible for somebody's life because at the end, if God forbid something happens, he can face lawsuits. And maybe I come from USA, so here everything turns
Yeah.
into a lawsuit.
It's
So I'm probably
yeah.
saying from that level, and things are different in India, I'm not sure. But just to answer his question, that I don't mean him to lose his job, but we need him to get to a proper treatment where somebody professional is helping him out. It was just for this case scenario where he said that everything was fine, but he just claimed that he was depressed. It was just for that example. Okay, so
I'll also
um,
add to that I tried my best. I fought with the company for 1 month, but again, he signed off on medical grounds. I did not sack him. I tried my best that he stays on board and learns, but it had to happen. So it happened the right way. Medical sign off is not wrong. It's a good thing. He has
yeah,
joined
and my
another
intent
ship.
was not to get anybody fired either. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that we need
Right.
safety first. So, if we feel that
Absolutely.
a cadet or a crew member is not safe and we've done everything that was given to us and, used all our resources, then the next best thing would be to, send him off board so he gets professional help. Okay, so
Yeah.
going back to what I do. So all I offer or ask for my clients, and I would suggest the same, is that when I talk about meditation, I'm not asking for long hours, as I earlier suggested. It's only 10 minutes. You're just going to sit with yourself and just notice your breath. Yes, thoughts would arise. There are about 70,000 thoughts that we come across in 24 hours. There is no way you can get rid of it. I'm not asking you to do that. You're just going to sit down, breathe, and notice what's rising. So it could be a thought of loneliness. It could be a thought of failure of some sort. It could be a thought of joy, of, some nice memories that come across in your mind. And you're just going to notice it and let it go. That's all. That's all it takes. As soon as you acknowledge your emotions, I'll give you a quick example. My house is a mess. Somebody calls me and says, okay, I'm coming over and I'm just going to put everything under the bed. And then next day, same thing happens. Somebody calls, I put more things under the bed. And then finally, there's no room left under my bed and everything comes crawling and it's out in the open. And now I have no idea how to take care of it and how to even see that explosion. And that's exactly what happens to our emotions and feelings. So if we keep shoving them in and saying, I'm fine. The master approaches, asks you how you're doing. I'm fine. Somebody else says, how are you doing? I'm fine. But you've got so much stuff going on that it one day would explode, either in a form of anger burst or in a form of emotional burst or in a sort of yelling way that, you're screaming and you really don't even know what's going on because there's so much pile up. So to avoid that pile up, it's important to sit with yourself, find that stillness to just calm what you have and approach it in a way, in a friendly manner as a third person that, okay, yes, I see you. You feel lonely. That shall pass. I'm joyous because I think of my children, their beautiful faces, and I'm going to see them again and let it pass. That's all that 10-minute requires.
Wow. Arun, impressive.
Yeah, I totally agree. Of course, I mean, the mindfulness is all about letting your thoughts sink in. Thoughts you cannot stop. Rightly said by Surbhi that in a day we get 60 to 80,000 thoughts, and most of them are unfortunately negative. So, and we have to little practice to make it shift from negative to positive. So it takes regular and persistent effort to do that, but it is possible. I mean, the mindful coach, do this. I mean, as a client. So yeah, that's a good technique. And
Yeah. Subi, you have an appreciation from Chanda. Well said, ma'am. Introspection is must.
Thank you, Chanda.
Acha, Chanda is my wife. Yeah, so great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's living with somebody who's
Okay.
anyway shifting mindsets. I also want to add something that I think labeling things, because I think the entire conversation we've been talking how stressful the job is. We need to stop labeling that. It's a choice that we made as a profession. I am doing what I'm doing because that's my choice. Calling it something with a negative word itself just adds to the stress. It doesn't help me. If I call you and tell you I'm in pain, you're like, okay, yeah, I feel sorry for you. I call somebody else, I'm in pain. Is that helping my pain? I need to look for a way to reduce my pain instead of adding to it, because now everybody else around me is just giving me sympathy and adding to my pain. Oh my God, how's your pain? Well, that's not helping me. So if I call my job stressful, day in and day out, I am in a very stressful environment. I work in a very stressful on a company, or this is full of stress. That's not helping anybody. So I think the approach needs to be more positive when we talk about our jobs or our lives.
See, I'll
That's
add
good.
something to this. It's a very old saying. It's from very old times. People used to say only tough men or women go to sea. So that tough is not just physically tough. It's actually the mental toughness also, because
Absolutely. Yeah.
seafarers are more mentally they have a challenging environment rather than physical things, especially at the management level or officers level. Mentally you are away from your family for so long, so that is the toughness which is actually required. So I'll say
Absolutely.
whoever is going out to see the new aspiring, there are a lot of cadets who will be watching this. Whoever is planning to go to sea, just go with a very tough mind. There will be no stress. There will be nothing. Whatever is coming your way, just take it with a smile. And that's what it is required to be a good seafarer, a good sailor.
You've got another quote now for your staff room where he said that only tough people go to sea.
Yeah,
That's perfectly
that's an
said.
always been there.
Yeah.
I'll just
So
share some takeaways. So please correct me if I go wrong. So we have an accountability partner, Arun. The person should be approachable. Aki, greetings every day. Make it a habit on all of your ships. The guys who are watching and the future guys will be watching this recording. And like Supi said, it's not the end of the world. Think about your loved ones. Yes, we have a difficult, challenging job, so we're doing it for our family. So always think of your loved ones. A solution-oriented approach, and you talked a beautiful 10 minutes technique, and always keep a positive approach. Thinking negative all the time is not going to help. At the end, if
I'll
you could just you
I,
know
I'll just
close
add
out.
one more. I'll just add one more small technique. What I tell my crew, I'm not a professional trainer, but what I tell my guys who I feel who are sad, and mostly most of them are not very well educated like us. They come from a very basic family and they don't do courses like what we do, stress management or human resource management. So one of the smallest thing what I'll advise to the guys who are watching this also, I tell my guys, whenever you feel sad or depressed or you have any negative thoughts, you just close your eyes, put on some very light music, and start thinking about the best memory you have of your past. The best memory. It can be anything. It can be your first date, your child's birth, or whatever you have. Just close your eyes and start thinking about that for next 5 or 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, you'll see your stress level will be gone, maybe half. It will be really
Yeah,
helpful and it will be a lot. And I really practice that a lot. And especially when you go to sleep and you're stressed, and when you go to sleep, it's all negative things coming to your mind. And that time, if you practice this, just close your eyes, think about the best memory, either in the past or something you are planning for future, and you have some good feelings about that. So it really helps to reduce your stress level. So that's my advice to, again, adding to your
Yep.
It's called the
Yes.
visualization technique. And it's funny that you mentioned this. And here on the land side, what we do when we're doing visualization meditation is we tell people to close their eyes, put on a nice music, and visualize themselves on a beach. It's like
Yeah.
you're on the
Visualization.
ship.
See,
Yeah.
I'm a trained guy, but this is something I've been doing, and it really helped me. And I have to I have advised to some people, and they've also told me, sir, it helped. So I guess maybe I
Hats off
can
to
get some.
you.
I too agree with Aki. Music heals. I listen to music, headphones, ambient, environment, and just listen to music and just go with the flow. Music definitely helps.
One more
Absolutely.
thing I'll add: who are on board, get a hobby. It is very important with your work. You need to do something productive during your free time. Don't just waste your time. If you don't have a hobby, then start a new one. Maybe it's a reading or dancing, playing music, whatever. But it really helps.
Surbi, any closing thoughts?
There are a lot of apps available, which now, since you have access to the internet, where if nothing else works, that you don't find an accountability partner, your master is not a person who's as great as Captain Aki, then there are apps available. I don't want to advertise anything, but I can definitely send you in message where people are there to listen. You're anonymous. That person is also
Oh,
anonymous, and you can just jot down whatever you're feeling. No one cares because that person doesn't know. They have no access to your information whatsoever. So your privacy is maintained. And venting out helps you. It's people like me and other therapists who are on the other side of the app. So they know how to help you. And
wow.
you don't have to worry about your privacy.
I would like to also mention about ICE1. I spoke to the director of South Asia ICE1. It's a welfare organization. They do have a 24 hours helpline number that's multilingual. So any seafarer can, if not the company, because what happens is if they inform the company somehow using the whistleblower policy, I've seen it comes back to the master and then master, fires back the employee directly. So this 24 hours helpline for from this ICE1 is there for you, and they will connect you to the, if possible, you can just speak to the 24 hours helpline, and they have professional therapists as well. And as Surbi mentioned, there are apps available as well.
And I can definitely inbox you and then you can communicate that, but
I
I
can do
don't
that,
want
yeah.
to say it on a live session. Also, I just feel that it's high time that we remove the mental health stigma and we talk about mental wellness as we talk about physical wellness. We talk about, taking care of our bodies, eating healthy, going to the gym. It's the same thing, there's no mental spa where even when our minds work more than our physical bodies do, even when we're sleeping, our mind is still working. So when are we treating our mind? And that's the key. It's just about that. Nobody's calling anyone crazy. Nobody's saying you're depressed. It's as you take care of your body, you need to take care of your mind as well.
Lovely. Arun, any
Can
closing
I
thoughts
add?
for today?
I will also add one last thing.
Your last thing or third last thing?
Last, let
Last,
Captain
okay.
Arun finish it, then I'll finish it.
Sure, sure.
So
Okay, yeah. So Vijay was saying, yeah. So basically, we have to practice positive self-talk. See, most of the time we are talking to ourselves, right? In a day, if you see, हम लोग अपने आप से ही बात कर रहे होते हैं. So if we can improve that from a negative to a positive, so that will really help. We've seen the boxers, जब भी आता है, the coach say, come on, do it, do it. So you have to do it for yourself. It's okay, it's everything's fine. And that's what we have to do on board because there's nobody else to listen. Then that's what you can do is a positive self-talk, and it's a practice. It's a practice. You can master it, and if you started mastering the thought, see, thinking good in a good environment is not a big deal. So it's only when things go bad you have to have that positive side, and that's what the mastery is basically. When you start mastering your thoughts, you become unstoppable for anything. I mean, not only for stress management, for any success. That's it from my side.
Thank you, Arun. Aki, last.
Yeah, okay. Last thing I'll just say for the youngsters, for the juniors who are always complaining about stressed environment, too much stress at work, I'll say always remember if you are in stress, the person above you is in more stress. That guy, normally youngsters, you are all single, you know. The person above you is married also. So one of the, sorry to say Subi, but that is, you know, one of the biggest stress for senior officers. He's married, he's got a, you know, family life, he's worried about that. Plus, what I say, the signs of stress is three things. What, like, one of the three of the signs, one is angerness, and you get angry, you know, if you are stressed. You get irritated very fast, and you are restless. So these all three things are the reasons why the juniors are feeling stressed. You know, when your senior is restless, oh, do the job, do it fast, do it fast. So there is a lot of stress on the junior officer or the junior cadet to complete the job. If he gets angry, he again feels stressed that my officer is angry with me. Or if he's irritated, you know, they see him irritated and they are not happy about it. So I feel to stay away from that, just think that poor bichara captain or chief officer is a stressed guy. You know, think like that. वो बिचारा stressed है, तो तुम्हारा stress कम हो जाएगा. When you see other person more stressed than you, definitely your stress level will go down. You know. So I'll just end with that. Always think about the other person's life also. He has a lot of things to worry about, lot of things to get stressed about. And he has a lot of people who are watching him. On your ship, it's only the master who's watching you. But the master, everyone is watching him. Or the chief officer, everyone is watching him. So just give that guy also a little break and stay happy on board. If you stay happy on board, I'm sure a happy ship is the best ship. So that's how I will end it.
Thank you,
I'll
Akhil.
also add my third last thing
Sure.
to
Okay.
what he said. I completely lost my chain of thought. Wait, give me a second. Okay, yeah, he was talking about the senior being more stressful, which I absolutely agree. As you grow in your curve of career, you get lonely and you have more stress. No doubt about that. But again, it takes me to that non-judgmental aspect of mindfulness, that you're not judging anybody because he's yelling or screaming and he's angry. Just shift your perspective, put yourself in his shoes, and then make the decision.
Yep. Put
Same
yourself in
thing.
other.
Same thing. I'll say we
All right.
both share the same thoughts.
Okay, to the viewers who have been watching this, thank you so much for patiently listening us. And Surpi has a beautiful Instagram page, Tranquil Mindfulness, and she also has a website, www. It's on her bio as well, tranquilminds.com. So please check the website and follow Surpi as well. And you can DM her. She is a motivational speaker, and I would request her someday to talk about the cadets who have, they are under another stress of having long waiting periods to join the ship. That is one, and other cadets who have no ships. They're waiting to, they're still trying to find the company. So we will discuss about that during the next session. Arun Mindful Marinas is his page. He's already come on show for quite a few times, and he has his own technique as well, DMIT counselor and many things. So guys, follow Arun as well, and contact him if you need any help from him. And Akib, as we all know, he is Captain Gadget. So I hope he organizes a party on his ship, and at the end of the party, whoever wins gets one of his gadgets. So I believe people will be more encouraged and happy on his ship.
And I do these things. I hide dollars, $5, $10 in the party, and I tell guys to search for it. So that also they are very
Okay.
happy.
All right. So with this,
Thank you so much for
thank
having
you
me.
so much.
It
Thank
was
you,
my
Arun,
pleasure.
and thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you,
Akib.
Sir.
Thank you, Surabhi.
It was a pleasure talking
Thank
to
you.
Thank you.
all three of you. All
Thank
right,
you, Aki. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, Surabhi. Yeah, nice to have you.
thank you guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.